Howard, I got hurt at work in the warehouse and my boss doesn't believe me.
Aiken Law has over 100 attorneys and staff ready to work for you. If you've been hurt on the job, in a car accident, or suffered a medical mistake, call 312-6-million.
Obviously early in the journey, but there's a meaningful checkpoint to reach 500.
Yeah, for sure. Your record matters, and we want to keep going from here. Obviously, want to keep playing good baseball and just continue to stack good days. And, the record will take care of itself.
I know it's repetitive. What's your take on how things have improved here? It's like it seems like almost in every phase, you guys have gotten so much better than last year. There's no one way to explain, why you're playing better.
Yeah, we got guys who really connect and play hard, and Getson Group will continue to add to the talent pool here, and we feel good about our roster, and at the same time, continue to keep improving and find ways to get better, and that's something that just never ends. And so, yeah, you add those two things together, and we're playing some good baseball.
You talk about like last year to this year, like the seventh inning, maybe last year gets away from you. The pitches Hicks made after getting into trouble there, how impressive?
Yeah, really impressive. And Hicksy is feeling really good right now. He's in a really good spot. There's been some times where you've seen him in different spots. For him to come in that leverage spot there was amazing, and that's what he's going to take. It's going to take him and the rest of these guys, in some tougher spots coming through, like Hicksy did tonight.
What does it say about your club that no matter what's going on, you lose a lead, they know that they can come back?
Yeah, sometimes you're able to come back and sometimes you're not, but what we appreciate about this group is they continue to fight throughout every at-bat, every pitch, and when you do that, you give yourself a chance to take advantage of mistakes, get that big knock that ends up changing the game for you.
What did you like about the at-bats that you guys did have against Louisville tonight?
Yeah, we're really good, really right from the beginning. Starting with Sam, really good quality at bats. Got the pitch count up, and we're able to do some damage and put some balls in play hard as well. So, really good job, kind of top to bottom. We saw really everyone involved in the scoring tonight.
What's it like watching Sam? He was in the middle of everything tonight.
Yeah, he finds his way in the middle of everything, and that's what you love about him. He's into action. He puts the ball in play. He runs hard. Defensively, he's doing a great job. So, yeah, you love the energy he brings and the way he goes about his business.
I think it's just day in and day out. We're coming in here, with the same mindset of just coming in and competing our butts off, and we all have the same mindset of that we can win, and obviously that's what we're doing right now. And I think it's just staying consistent with our work, coming in, putting our head down, doing what we need to do before the game, and then once the game happens, just go out there and compete and have fun.
You were part of this group last year that kind of turned things around after the All-Star break, so that when as many as you guys want to, what you guys talked about during spring training, does it mean something at the 500 at this point with more ahead of you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we look at, but as a competitor, and as a lot of us in here, you want to win, you want to be above 500, and you want to see yourself at the top of the division and things like that, just because in our minds that's where we feel like where we should be. And I think if we just keep doing what we're doing, coming in here and competing, and even if we get down, the bullpen's going to do whatever they can, or our starting pitcher's going to do whatever they can, shut the game down and give us a chance.
I think it's the home run that was the difference maker.
Yeah, it's just same thing as always going in, did my, scouting on the guy prior, I kind of like do scouting on relievers, kind of before the game, things like that, just because, if some case scenario like that where I'm leading off the inning, and I don't have as much time to look at the guy, so I just kind of knew where I needed to look, and was just committed to the fastball, and he kind of threw it in the area I was looking.
A lot of people can look on the outside and say this team is building confidence, gaining confidence. What's it feel like to be in the middle of that? How does that manifest itself gaining?
Yeah,
a more confident team?
I think it's just, you can just see everyone is like starting to be their true self, and I feel like when you're your true self, and when you're at your full true self, I feel like that's when you're most confident, and I think confidence is definitely infectious. So I think that everyone's just feeding off each other, and no one's really in here, afraid to make mistakes. And I feel like if you're in that kind of, mindset, you kind of play free and easy. And I think everyone's just playing, how they want to be playing.
Where does that start with leadership, or where do you think that starts?
Yeah, I think it just starts with Will and the rest of our coaches, kind of preparing us for everything. And when you have that belief where your skip or whoever believes in you and also your teammates. I think that's where it starts, is when your teammates, everyone believes in each other, and I think that's where the confidence starts.
Getting back to 500 might be a weird question. Did it come up in your celebration? You're like 500 just the beginning, or did it come up at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no. Like I said, we know we're in a really good spot, and I feel like we're not really looking at the standings or things like that, just because there's still a lot of baseball to be left. But it's definitely a good achievement that we can look at right now and see that things are going in the right direction.
That first at-bat was frustrating. Like, what's your process right now where clearly you can kind of quickly put that aside and still have a big game?
Yeah, it's just each at-bat, it's its own new game is kind of what I think about. Kind of just got out of my approach, and that's kind of where I got frustrated, just because I knew what I needed to look for, and he kind of threw me exactly what I was looking for, and I just kind of got out of my approach. And I got good coaches and good teammates around me. I came in there, and my coaches were just telling me, like, stick with your approach, stay committed to what you want to do, and just be yourself and take your swing. And I think that's kind of what led to the rest of the game.